Hey there, Kodandi here at the beach, still again continuing at the beach. I'm out here in a bikini, and honestly, I was a little nervous because I noticed that this beach is a lot of Thai locals. Like, this is the weekend vacation spot for people that want to come out to the beach for the weekend. And they were all wearing, I don't know if you can see, shorts and t-shirts in the water, and here I am, a foreign woman in a bikini. So I was a little nervous. I asked at the hotel at the front desk, is it okay if I wear a bikini on the beach? Because I don't know, local customs, things are different. And she's like, oh, that's okay. So I feel better about that. But, traveling internationally and especially living in India, I have to be very aware of kind of the local customs of modesty and women's appearance because it is very different than in the US. And, for me, like, I don't care. I would be just as happy. Like, I hate bathing suits. They just get wet and soggy, and then there's this wet, soggy thing hanging off your ass, and it's terrible and disgusting. I would be just as happy to go naked. I would be significantly happier to go naked in the water, but it's not that kind of beach, so I don't have that option. So yeah, I'm not particularly concerned about, giving an external sense of modesty, that my modesty comes from within. And, in Hinduism, the pre-colonization Hinduism, it specifically says in one of the agamas, I'll have to find the exact reference, but Swamiji has talked about it, other people have talked about it, how it specifically says that women who want to cover their bodies are free to cover their bodies, and women who want to reveal their bodies are free to reveal their bodies, and women have, the freedom to dress as they please. That Hinduism, pre-colonial Hinduism, recognized women's rights long before Western feminism. And it was just a non-issue. And, really before the British came in and wanted everyone to put on shirts, women would just wear their saris without a shirt. And in some remote places, in, tribal villages, women still go without shirts, without tops, without a blouse. And sometimes they won't even cover their top half. The Muslim invaders brought, some of that as well, but more so the British. That it is a Victorian custom that the British came in and wanted everyone to dress like Victorian Britons, even though this is not England, India is not England, and it's significantly hotter, and it's better to go without like this tight constricting thing around your arms and your chest that's going to give you a rash and be sweaty and uncomfortable, because it is. I mean, blouses are great and all, but I can't stand them. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that cloud. How beautiful is that? So anyway, the kinds of, modesty and appearance standards for women that now happen in India are very much Victorian England, that, the country and the culture has not fully decolonized itself, and that pre-colonial Hinduism recognizes women's rights and women's ability to wear whatever they want. That, that the modesty should come from within, that we should know not to stare. And even coming from the US to India, people, I noticed one of the first things that I noticed and became very aware of is that people have less of a sense of body privacy, that you will see people taking a bath in public, and that's just like not a big deal, that people change clothes in public, that even though they have these Victorian standards of dress, that there's still very much a very different sense of body privacy and, a sense of nudity not being sexual, that nudity is natural. Children will run around naked. There are temple sculptures, still show naked people, naked bodies, and it's not an issue. That was definitely one of the things that I noticed. So it's sort of like this stuck in between this Victorian modesty standards where once you put your clothes on, they have to fit a particular standard, but People will bathe in public, children will run around naked, and it's a non-issue, that it's, natural bodies. Bodies are not seen as sinful. That's the thing, that the body is not sinful in Hinduism. Hinduism doesn't really even have a concept of sin, that there's a word that has been translated as sin, but it is not a really great concept. It's not a really common concept that exists in Hinduism, and that the body is not, something sinful or bad, but the body is something precious, that the body is a gift, that human life is a gift. It's not some torture that we endure because some deity on high sent us out here to feel pain and suffering. That, life and the human body is a gift and a pleasure and a joy. And, there's just such a different sense of modesty. And I, as someone that is not really ashamed of my body, that I, don't really care. I mean, I want to comply with local standards of modesty, just, because I'm a guest. But I just don't care. I'd be just as happy out at a nudist beach as, a beach where I'm clothed. That's just how it is. So yeah, just remember, your body is a gift. You don't have to be a nudist. You can wear whatever you want. But my sense of modesty comes from within, knowing not to look, not to stare, not to think sexual thoughts about other people's bodies, that, I accept them as natural, as part of nature, as a gift that they have been blessed with, as a gift that all of us have been blessed with, just like this beach, a gift that all of us have been blessed with.